Thank you for joining this short webinar showing you how to identify the Additional Information Statement codes, also referred to as AI codes, when making an export declaration using Customs Declaration Service software. This is step 6 of a series of short webinars introducing the Customs Declaration Service guidance on completing an export declaration. This table sets out step-by-step guides we'll be covering in this series. We will be showing you screenshots from gov.uk. HMRC is constantly improving the digital experience of our customers, so you may find that some of these screenshots will be slightly different to those you'll see on gov.uk. This webinar series follows Grayson, who is exporting children's t-shirts from Great Britain to the USA. He has his own Customs Declaration Service software product, which means he can submit his own declarations. Grayson is completing an export standard declaration. Please remember to follow the 11 steps in the navigation guide in order, otherwise your declaration will fail validation. Grayson needs to ensure he is on the Navigate the CDS Declaration Instructions for Exports page. If he scrolls down, he will see the 11 steps he needs to follow. Step 6 relates to Additional Information Statement codes. Additional Information Statement codes are used to provide details of any additional information required in Data Element 2.2. Grayson needs to use an Additional Information Statement code to apply for relief for the temporary admission of the pallets he is using to export the goods. Additional Information Statement codes are made up of a code followed by free text or a set statement. Grayson will need to access Appendix 4 and the UK Integrated Online Tariff in order to identify any additional information statement codes. He starts with Appendix 4 by selecting the hyperlink. This will open up the Appendix 4 guidance page. Grayson scrolls and sees that he needs to recheck his procedure code in Appendix 1, additional procedure code in Appendix 2, and commodity codes on the online tariff. This will provide guidance on the additional information statement codes expected or required to be used for his declaration. Grayson also notes that anything in Appendix 1 or Appendix 2, the procedure code and additional procedure code, will take precedence over Appendix 4. Grayson starts by returning to the UK Integrated Online Tariff and accesses the commodity code 61091000, which he determined in Step 2. Grayson notes that the commodity code is in Chapter 61. This is important because if the commodity code is in Chapter 1 to 24 and his goods were licensable or were subject to prohibitions and restrictions, there is a higher likelihood that he would need to quote one or more AI statement codes. Grayson would find these AI codes in Appendix 4, which we will see shortly in this webinar. As he is exporting children's t-shirts, none of these conditions apply. Next, Grayson needs to access the procedure code and additional procedure codes via Appendices 1 and 2. Grayson returns to Appendix 1, searches for the procedure code 1040. He scrolls down to the additional information section. Grayson must read this and see if there are any additional requirements for the procedure code. He sees the note stating that if the goods are being exported using pallets, he must enter a relevant additional information code at the time of exportation to discharge the temporary admission that was claimed at the time of importation. As this is the case for his scenario, he will need to enter PAL07 along with TA pallets in data element 22. Next, Grayson returns to Appendix 2 to find the additional procedure code, 000. He scrolls down to the specific fields in the Declaration Notes on Completion section within the additional procedure code. For Grayson's example, there are no additional requirements. If he had multiple additional procedure codes, he would need to repeat this process for all codes. Now that Grayson has reviewed Appendix 1, Appendix 2, and reviewed the UK Integrated Online Tariff, he needs to access Appendix 4. He selects the hyperlink. Grayson can access Appendix 4 by selecting the hyperlink in Step 6. This will bring Grayson to the Appendix 4 guidance page. If he scrolls down, he will see Appendix 4A and 4B. Appendix 4A contains union codes and Appendix 4B contains national codes. For additional information codes, the union codes begin with a number and the national codes begin with a letter. Please note, this is the opposite to additional procedure codes. First, Grayson checks Appendix 4A. He selects the hyperlink which downloads an Excel file. He can read more into the description and usage of each additional information statement code. He needs to work through the whole document and find if any codes are relevant to him. In Grayson's example, there are no union additional information codes required. Next, he checks Appendix 4B. He will need to work through this document the same way he did with Appendix 4A. When Grayson scrolls down, he will see the code PAL07, which he previously identified in Appendix 1. Grayson will need to work through the rest of the document to see if any other codes are relevant. However, he identifies that there are no other national additional information statement codes relevant to his declaration scenario. Grayson has correctly identified the additional information statement code PAL07 plus TA pallets is required for the children's t-shirts by using Appendix 4 and re-reviewing the UK Integrated Online Tariff, as well as Appendices 1 and 2 under the Additional Information sections. Watch the next webinar, which shows how Grayson identifies the specific document and reference codes.